Hello, another adventure begins, but this time I'm in North Wales and I am going to be exploring Gwrych Castle, which is about more than 200 years old, and it's one of the most important medieval finds here in the whole of Europe. And I'll now be showing you where we're heading to. Stay tuned! It's quite misty today as we drive to. This is the path going to the castle. A very narrow, winding path. And the view of Wales will be explored by us here today. Well, we were in the town center yesterday exploring Abergele. I saw from a distance this beautiful castle and I said I just really want to explore it, so today is the day to really see it. This is the entrance to this imposing castle here in Abergele, North Wales. Hello, I'm in Abergele here in North Wales and I'll be exploring for the very first time Gwrych Castle. I mean, look at that. How do you pronounce it? Gwrych Castle. I just saw this actually when we were driving to see the parts of Abergele yesterday, and I said from a distance I saw this imposing castle. So today we drove here to really explore this amazing castle, which is about over 200 years old. See you in a bit, and as I show you and I take photos of this lovely, beautiful piece of history here in North Wales. This is such a beautiful place to explore on a sunny day any time of the year. Well, I'm showing you this garden here, which has been re-restored, but this is actually inspired by the gardens of Queen Eleanor, which is just patterned to the castle nearby at Conwy Castle, and it is really going to be fascinating. It's a different kind of a layout, and it gives you the view of the Anglesey and of course the sea at the very end and more of the neighboring islands. I don't know how big the whole area is, but this is going to be fascinating once it's finally restored to its old glory. So keep enjoying. As you approach the entrance to the castle, you will be treated to view Countess of Dundonald's writing room. Let's have a look what it is like inside of it. Wow, isn't that cozy? And then you have the views of the sea from this side. Normally you would see gardens, but here is the sea. How beautiful. And they have displayed some of the old paintings and they have restored them. And of course, the old stone walls, the chandelier, really fascinating. I wish I would have a writing room like this for myself. I would be able to imagine different kinds of stories to write from my mind here. That's life of a simple royal. But I'm not. I'm just a prince of telling you stories of places I've visited. The grandness of this architecture is truly amazing. I think it stretches out to that side where you are treated to sea views, and then once you go into the other side, you will then see mountain views. It really is fascinating how this place has turned into like a magical site. I don't know why this has not been used in many films, because it's such a beautiful ground. So the next thing that I would like to say is that if you do come here, please come on a sunny day, because you can imagine how beautiful the scenery is. And the beauty of this place, the landscape just shines through with the sun and plus a company of people. No one's here at the moment. Maybe this needs exploring. Maybe when I posted this, it will become so popular. Now it's my time to trek all the way up to see the other parts of this fabulous castle. And I'm just so really impressed how they preserved their architectural designs, the history. Not like in some countries where I have visited lately that they have destroyed part of their beautiful history. Here, I'm just so thankful that we get to see the beauty of things, the glorious past being reintroduced even to today's generation. And I would remember that I am so blessed to have been given such opportunity. Why, I'm coming closer to this side because these lilies reminded me of one of my friend's weddings. I made a wedding bouquet for her wedding during that special day. So, I'll catch you later as I explore the other parts of Gwrych Castle here in Abergele, North Wales. Now it's time to explore the other parts of this magnificent castle, the Gwrych Castle, if I may remind you where I am at the moment. And up here, there are so many viewing decks. You can view from this tower, and then there's another tower on this side. And behind that, as I have read in the history earlier on, is an imposing garden and a theater. And then in the old times, this is where people and the guests could view the sea. And that's when they get to see if they have some enemies coming to invade the castle. So it's just like, it's actually not used for war, but it's just like a protected section for their time in here. And Gwrych Castle, being one of the most important parts of architecture in Europe, is truly magnificent and one of a kind. So I'll show you more of it as I continue to ascend into the tower part of the castle. I'm up here. I started the journey from the bottom down there. You can see the car park. I have ascended into the castle, and now I am at the viewing deck where I can see the whole view, well, as much as my eyes can see. The sea, and of course the village, the towns on that side here in Abergele in North Wales. I think it's so good that they have really preserved and they are trying to restore more of this wonderful piece of architecture because of its great contribution to Europe. So I'm just so glad that when I was driving along Abergele yesterday, I took just time to say, what is out there? It's a castle, and I just wanted to really explore it. And today was the day to really see it, and I am really so happy. So this pod takes you down into the lower part of the castle before it ends, and there's so many beautiful facets. The students that you can see behind me were asked to guess what they are earlier on. But then, because someone's big mouth gave them the clue, it's supposed to be one of the things that they need to guess. Believe you me, that's my craziness and nothing else. So when you get to walk along this line, get to see just a fantastic view from there. Tourists are all in here now, and schools are really joining in. So when they have lost their wealth, immense wealth, when they built this in 1846, they managed to be invaded by so many gypsies, and the metal gates here were all stolen. But there are so many thieves, and thieves still do thrive even up to this day. And then I take you down to this path where people can go towards the exit of this lovely castle. But before you do leave this castle, you're treated to another viewing window of the bay. And of course, the other facets and the other sides of the castle. Really had a lovely time here exploring. Maybe I should make a wish. So, this is one of those few castles I've invaded here in North Wales, and I've always been fascinated coming over. So, hope that you follow my adventure as I show you more of the castles in England, in Wales, and hopefully Scotland too, so that I will be giving you the very best glimpses of life of a crazy prince. One of the most fascinating things that always attract me to when I visit places are windows. And this one is just maybe unique because of the presence of one of my favorite plants, the Badlia. this particular plant really attracts butterflies in the summer, and I really like it. It smells good too. Wow. I thought I will become suddenly a caterpillar, but I'm not. So I'm just a visiting human being giving an appreciation to this beautiful flower. So as I descend down, I was walking there earlier, and in a few minutes I'll be heading out of this castle, and it's truly fascinating. The sky is blue, the sun is out. Time to put on my shades because I'm heading into my next adventure. Ouch, what's that? Catch you later. Well, the journey of exploring this castle almost comes to an end until I found another beautiful window here, which gives you a glimpse of the house that was built by the owner of this beautiful castle. This house, or that house rather, was built in honor of his ancestors. May nag-agi. Sa laki yan. So it was built in honor of his ancestors. That's why he built that. And through this part of the house, you can go on a glimpse of the glorious past and the people that he made it for. Truly, it's fascinating. And when you have a piece of art, of history and architecture that's truly fascinating, if it's not too old, but gives you a glimpse of what glorious past there was, it's important to share that to the next generation. And I'm so glad that I made it here today. Now, I'm here in the beautiful castle grounds. Truly fantastic to explore the whole castle. I started my journey from the car park. Now I'm up here where the main attraction is. And I'm so glad that we were really treated to such magnificent view and weather. And I hope that the people who is restoring this castle will continue the project, because it's so fascinating that this piece of architecture, which is one of the most important finds in Europe, will be restored so that the next generation will still be able to explore and continue to see the glory of this particular place. They might have lost their wealth and they may have been robbed off with so many things, but the gypsies who came over and took so many items here in this castle, the most important thing here is a piece of history and architecture still stands true to this time. Right here in Gwrych Castle in North Wales, in Abergele. Please do come and visit it and help them restore it, because every time you visit, you help a piece of this architecture back to reality. It's Jess Bermudez here, saying lots of love to you all as I continue my journeys of exploring my life here in United Kingdom. Love you all. Mwah. Thank you so much for following my adventure here in Gwrych Castle, and I shall be seeing you in my next adventure, because I still have so much to feature in my channel. Thank you to all of you who's watching, who's liking and subscribing. Please do share, because I have so much more to give you all. Thank you and have a lovely day, and take care always. Lots of love from Jess the Cat. Until then.